I was munching on a cheap corn dog while my son was chowing down next to me. Even though he was sweating from the heat, he kept smiling and saying he loved the spicy kick. That's when it hit me. People's love for spicy food had reached crazy levels. A wild idea exploded in my head. I was gonna create spicy chips and let the whole world taste this fiery joy. But when I excitedly came home with bags full of chips, my wife frowned. She worried about this month's rent and living expenses. What if we lost everything? I thought she'd tell me to stop, but she just sighed softly and said, "I believe in you." With her support, we started experimenting like crazy. We kept buying different peppers and mixing formulas, but the results were either too harsh or just burned without that unique corn dog flavor. The company's R&D department wanted to use artificial flavoring, but I held my ground. Real flavor had to come from real ingredients and traditional methods. We tried almost every pepper we could get our hands on, and finally, we nailed the perfect recipe. But just when I was over the moon, bad news hit the factory. Layoffs. Nobody wanted to hear my ideas. One supervisor even sneered, "Just stick to cleaning toilets and don't get any big ideas." I almost cracked right then, but I gathered my courage and called the company president in Italy directly, even got his address. So my wife and I worked all night making samples and shipped them over. A few days later, the president said he was coming to inspect the factory himself. When factory management found out, instead of praise, I got chewed out in front of all the employees. Someone complained, "What if the president doesn't like it and you cause the factory to shut down?" My confidence wavered for the first time. Back home, I told my wife everything. She pulled me in front of the mirror and said, "I've stuck with you because I believe in you. Don't sell yourself short." She started teaching me business basics, helped me write a speech, and told me how to present myself to the president. But when the president showed up, I ditched the script and decided to speak from the heart. When someone asked, "What's market share?" I had no clue about those terms and could only explain in my own way. Surprisingly, the president was moved by my sincerity and passion and decided to invest on the spot. The spicy chips finally went into production, but after hitting the shelves, hardly anyone bought them. The packages were gathering dust. Seeing this, my heart sank completely. Luckily, my son reminded me, "People don't even know what this is. We need to promote it ourselves." So I got old friends to help spread the word. We hit up schools, stores, and streets, handing out chips nonstop, even pretending to be customers buying them ourselves. Soon, market demand started skyrocketing. One day, the president called, "The target is 5 million boxes." The factory worked around the clock, and in 6 months, we broke every record. People said I'd made it, but I just smiled and said, "I'm still a janitor." Until one day, I walked into the office with my mop, and the president was waiting for me. He said I also came from an ordinary family. If I'd stopped chasing my dreams back then, I wouldn't be here today. Dreams matter, but what matters more is having someone who always supports your dreams. I was moved to tears. Then the president publicly announced my appointment as the company's marketing director, and the whole factory erupted in thunderous applause. The first thing I did was call my wife, the one who never gave up and always believed in me.